So, that's it. So, dot, dot, dot. From the positive or quote the negative side. So, or so, maybe. So, this morning, while morning inner body, I need about an hour and a half of it nowadays because I'm going through an energy upgrade, a big Kundalini awakening. Well, actually, I'm getting way easy compared to the other stories. Woman who I really love, Penny Kelly, if you look her up. Imagine having 4 kids, just got divorced, you're on welfare, trying to study to go to medical school, and you have a massive Kundalini awakening and you have never heard of it before? I'm getting way easy. I'm little Lord Fauntleroy. I'm the little prince. I'm the little spoiled brat compared to that. Jeez. And still it's touch and go. Or the last few months and just having to do vibrational healing and feeling like I'm going crazy. And I've manifested some physical stuff. But anyway, so this morning I'm doing the inner body awakening, which I recommend as the basic foundational method technique to get real, to heal, to stay grounded. Unless you're a dog and you can do it the way Gabby does, she just goes and lays on the ground with her belly and she doesn't have an ego mind to fuck her up, to mess with her. She doesn't have mind talk. She doesn't have mind fear porn scenarios, your own mind generating fear. If you're not a dog or an animal or a plant, I recommend if you're a normal human and if you're not an ascended master or a saint or an avatar or a holy woman, man, or God, I recommend the innerbodyawakening.com, ancient Shiva technique for feeling your energy. So God has me, of course, doing my own advice every morning as a foundation, as a survival technique at this point, just to keep up with the stuff that's boiling up. Even so, I'm subject to my own ego mind eruptions, attacks, fear porn scenarios, the stuff it throws at you. This morning, as I'm in the middle of feeling my body is energy, it's like, see, you have to experience this, but it's amazing, this method of, it dissolves your body. It's Jesus turning into light. That's where it ends up. So it's one of the easiest ways of doing it. The whole push that we have to get away from the body, subject the body, the flesh is weak, shove it down, hurt it, actually mortification of the flesh, all that is off base. Whether it's done by Buddha or Christian monks, it doesn't matter. Mortification of the flesh is actually counterproductive. It doesn't help. Of course God made your body. Of course God, Source Mother, she doesn't want you to put the body first, then you turn into this weird body worship, image worship thing. But as a tertiary, secondary, as a part of you as a divine being, it is an incredible miracle expression. So the inner body, I'm laying there feeling it, right? Thank you, God. It does itself. Your heart beats itself. Your breath occurs by itself. There's no work involved. When you're at 3 a.m., you're not waking up every 5 seconds going, oh, I have to breathe now. No, it's something is what grows the rose. When I used to do sessions, which I'm restarting, maybe 1 or 2 a week right now is where I'm at, if you're interested. And it's very different. I'm just going to commune with you. We're just going to sit in the space, really, and be there and not get into the head so much. So, there it is again, the title of the new book. Non sequitur, fun, random access, messing with your bipolar holosynchronous hemispheres so that we can create a new human. If you understood any of that, stop. Don't even try it. I'm laying there and my mind starts saying, oh my God, look at all this, Tobias. It's like the little evil advisor for the king. There's trouble in the counties, and there's an uprising, and they're plotting against you, my king. So my ego shows up and starts doing that, right? They're plotting against you. You're going to be overwhelmed. Your girlfriend's going crazy. The ego does a bunch of things. It's our own fear. Don't blame the ego. It's your own fear. But it will throw shit against the wall to see if it sticks. It'll attack you. It'll give you scenarios of fear. You're going to end up homeless and you're going to go crazy, are the two bottom ones, okay? When you're going through a spiritual awakening or changing your life, you're going to end up homeless and crazy and rejected by everybody. These are the bottom ones. But in between, there's thousands of other approaches that your mind eruptions, your ego eruptions will do to try to scare you back into your box. Go back into the matrix. It's the only safe place to be, etc., right? So this morning, my mind's doing that. And I'm observing it as much as I can, but I'm feeling, so on your path, you're going to have to learn to deal with ego mind eruptions. Because that's the human experience. We're coming out of thousands of years of basically being run by egos. All of history is full of egos, killing each other and putting up statues. Tear down the statue, kill some more people, put up my statue. The whole of history and her story, believe it or not, there was a matriarchal society on Earth before this latest epoch of patriarchy. And by the way, that didn't do any better either. I hesitate if I should even say anything, but matriarchal queens that were literally bathing themselves in the blood and the semen of many young men. Is that healthy? That's just as bad as the patriarchy creating artificial wars to feed on. World War I, World War II, and hopefully we're not creating World War III. Just being truthful. If you're interested in it from an academic point of view, check out the book, When God Was a Woman. Okay? So you got to get away from the battle of the sexes, blaming the patriarchy. It's bullshit. It's like blaming the Democrats or the Republicans. You are being played. Get out of the game. The polarity game is stupid. It's just a giant distraction to get you away from your own healing, which is the only thing that's going to solve anything. Any blame game, ridiculous. So when Mars attacks, remember that movie? When your mind attacks, it was telling me, look at all this, you're going to have to clean up the house, sell the house, move out of town. I'm sitting at the Phoenix house right now. This is Joy's house. I had houses 2 miles over there, and we've combined our forces about 5 years ago. But we're both realizing we got to sell this. It's a big deal, And I'm just feeling like overwhelmed, and then my mind tries to say, Joy's going to freak out, it's not going to work. It's giving me fear scenarios. So this is normal, that your ego mind eruptions will throw at you fear scenarios. You're going to have to learn to deal with it if you're on the awakening path. If you're just taking your psycho meds and just hoping your 401k is going to save you and all that, and you can live it out in some retirement community here in Arizona, you don't want to hear from me. You're not even here. You won't ever be here, and you'll just think I'm a lunatic, which is perfect. That's my protection. Thank you. But you have to learn to deal. One way to do it is to do the one full conscious breath, the world's shortest meditation. While dropping into the body. Eckhart Tolle's whole teaching is just about feeling and being in the presence. That works. Now, if you've gotten full up into panic mode, or you're starting to have a breathing panic attack, or your mind's got a hold of you, the first step is just to observe it. Go, wow, look at my mind. It's like a hamster in a wheel going ape monkey. It is freaking out. Look at my mind throwing all that up. It's trying to get you to hook you with one of those scenarios. It tries to tell me all kinds of stuff. All my masters and teachers and friends and people going through the same process, you're aware of it. But you're going to have to get used to it, because most often it's a fear scenario. It's not true. What's happening right now? I'm sitting here, my dogs, grapefruit trees, bougainvillea bush. I'm fine. But the mind throws up fear of the future. So you interrupt us. Mind us, interrupt us. One full conscious breath is one method. If you can feel your inner body, awesome. Just feel your hands, your feet. Give your mind is so busy. It's like a child, or like little Allie. We left her home. Allie, come here. You're exhibit B. Come here, Allie. Exhibit B, Allie here. She's the young girl. We left her home for 3.5 hours yesterday with the other dog. She's not alone, but she still gets scared that mommy and daddy are gone. So she'll go find something to chew up. Usually it's glasses. Yesterday she found a little Swiffer, those things you dust with, and she chewed it up. That's the mind. It's nervous. It's like that little mouse that Ganesha has. He always has a little mouse sitting on his foot to remind him of the mind, to watch the mind, not to let the mind hook you. Being society. We even give out ridiculous Stanford IQ tests, thinking that having a mind IQ is somehow good. Obviously, it's not. It has its place, but not as the leader of a civilization, or you get nuclear bombs and big Harma and chemtrails and ridiculous wars and killing of the earth. So the mind cannot lead. It's a servant. It's the old image is the king has servants. You're the king. You're the queen. Your soul, your holy, and your soul is the king and the queen. It needs to be in charge. You don't put more dread in charge. King Arthur needs to be in charge. Herod in charge. The original plan was to make Jesus a temporal king, an actual king. Otherwise, they wouldn't have that weird prophecy about him becoming the king. Look that up yourself. I don't have time to talk about all that. So when the mind ego eruptions come, notice them. Wow, I'm hooked in. That's 51% of it. If you go completely unconscious, you'll wake up 6 hours later or 3 days later and go, okay, I don't. It's like you blacked out. The mind, you went drunk on the mind and the fear and the ridiculousness. So this is a normal process. And at this time when the screws are being tightened, did I say that? I don't mean that. I mean the volume is being turned up lovingly by God. Oh boy, no thumb screws, please. Stuff's gonna boil. It's already happening. It's not gonna stop. So you need to have some tools in your quiver of arrows so you don't end up a quivering slobby mess in the corner. One full conscious breath, feeling your inner body. Sometimes, recently Spirit showed me this, when you're so in fear and your fear-mongering is, your mind is throwing all those ancient karmas and old programs that will surfacing inside you. If you're on the healing path, if you're not, gosh, Mother Earth are lovingly going to relocate you to another place where you get to do it again for another 26,000 years. And more. Anyway, another one is just simple distraction. I always used to think that was weak, but Spirit showed me, no, sometimes you need to distract yourself. Go for a walk, do something different, play with a dog, completely change the channel. Make yourself do something, like go to the gym or something. You know, do something physical. I just went for a walk. That's what helped me. I just walked around the yard, and it broke this. I was feeling too much into some stuff I should be engaging in. Some fear porn, as David Wilcock originated that term. Give credit where it is due. 10 years ago. Oh, one full conscious breath. Feel your inner body. It's okay to distract yourself. And there's 100 other methods. Watching your breath, yoga, vipassana, so forth. But you're going to have some tools in your quiver as the battle heats up. The mind battle for Earth. The soul battle for Earth. You know. Fire coming down. The fire's coming down. And I'm not being apocalyptic. Apocalypse, by the way, is a Greek word, apokalypsos, means full divine revelation. It's not anything bad. But for those of us, or those parts of us that want to hide in the shadows like little roaches, they have to come forth wherever you are. Come out from wherever you are. And if you're attached to them, you're going to suffer. The best shot is breathing, just breathing, also just breathing. If you go into any kind of feelings of overwhelm, one full conscious breath, just notice your breathing and go, I'm not in charge. You're not. Whatever created mountains and eyeballs and dogs and your body and roses, you didn't do that. Something bigger than you is in charge. Something intelligent, or evolution if you want to be a total atheist, whatever. It's bigger than you. You're not in charge. That's megalomania, thinking that you're in charge. It's fucking messiah complex. I'm not in charge. Not my circus, not my monkeys. All right, much love. So mind ego eruptions will likely be part of the path. And learning how to deal with that is important. Mind ego eruptions can kill you. It's where people get in such a funk they commit suicide or they freak out or whatever. So learning to deal with the mind ego, your own inner, it's your own ego ultimately. That loves to project it on others. It loves to fight and create wars and blame game and all that, of course. But learning some methods. So the full conscious breath, feel your inner body. Distraction is okay. All right, guys. My phone overheated. Okay? So, anyway, ciao. Check out the webcasts, tobiaslars.com and the bodyawakening.com. Much love. More later. My phone overheated. That's what you get for Arizona.